know what really grinds my gears? I just need a bolt for the saw where it attaches to the pole saw. And you know what? I just want the manufacturer to list what size bolt they shipped the thing with. And I don't want to have to drag my pole saw down to the hardware store to make sure I can buy one specific bolt I need. I just want to go in there and know what I need to get. But no, they can't list that. It's probably the most commonly lost bolt off a pole saw anyway, the one that holds the saw on. A cool down in the plains and the east coast will occur behind a cold front passage, while the west continues to feel above average warmth. Fire weather concerns are prevailing across the plains as well as parts of the southeast, though, as it's going to be cooler but not necessarily less dry. And much of the nation will be dry and see little precipitation for the weekend, with the exception of showers and thunderstorms in South Florida. But that's not the case. As you can see, there's a big streak of green above my big fat head, kind of going all the way from Kansas to New York. And so I'm based on what they're saying, I think that's going to dissipate out today, but it's there right now. Temperatures, we've got 50s and 60s for Washington and Oregon, 84, 81 for NorCal, 85, 74 for SoCal. Mountain states seeing lots of 50s and 60s up top. By the time you get to the southwest, it's in the higher 60s and into the high 70s. And then Arizona is 91 at one corner, 98 at the other corner, and that other corner looks even hotter, so I'm guessing in the hundreds down there. New Mexico, 67, 73, a little more moderate. Plains and Poos, we've got 40s and 50s up top, even some 30s possible up near Canada, but the 50s do continue down through about mid-Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle. Warms up into the 60s, 70s by the time you hit South Oklahoma and for the middle swath of Texas. And then it's still hot around the Gulf with 87, 86, 87 at the tip. Lake states in the 20s and 30s and 40s, and then by the time you get down to Kentucky, it's up into the somewhere between the 50s and the 70s. There's quite the jump there. And the high 70s and 80s into the Gulf states. New England seeing 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. You've got a nice variation there. It turns to 75 by the nation's capital, 72 on the Outer Banks, but the rest of the southeast in the high 80s. 88, 84, 88, 86, and 82 at the tip of the peanuts. McMurdo Station sitting at 0 degrees Fahrenheit with winds from south-southwest at 28 with gusts up to 36, giving them a real feel of negative 34 degrees and cloudy skies. Puerto Rico, no wind watches, warnings, or flood or advisories in effect except for flood advisory around San Juan there on the north coastline. Puerto Rico is currently using its weather channel to advertise the hurricane hunters are visiting the Fernando L. Rivas Dominici Airport in San Juan, Puerto Rico, Saturday, April 18th, 2026. They would like you to join them for a hurricane awareness tour. It's propaganda on my weather page, but I read it. Here we go. Temperatures. We've got 80s around the coastlines, more low 80s to mid, 86 to 84 at the Virgin Islands, 82 out at St. Croix. Alaska, no precipitation that I'm seeing. Let's see what the guidance is. Above average temperatures expected for the North Slope and northwestern Alaska through the period, with below average across southern Alaska. Temperatures for the interior may reach or exceeding freezing in some locations. Temperatures should trend cooler by the time the ridging is replaced by troughing. And what they predicted is what I'm seeing on the map for the daytime highs today. 15, 16, 14 up on the Arctic Circle, 19, 20, 26 for the interior, 22. So it's just kind of evened out everywhere. 45 to 31 for the Aleutians, 36 to 33 near Anchorage, 27 for the Panhandlers. Hawaii, proud to report there are no watches, warnings, or advisories in effect at this time. Your daytime temperatures in the low 70s to possibly low 80s, but mid 80s for most areas. What was I ranting about? Yes, nuts. I need to find the right size nuts. Everybody have a good day. Bye. Bolts too. And I'm a wingnut.